invisible hands are all around us. Friedman borrowed an example from economist Leonard Reed to show that something that we take for granted and use every day is the result of a complex interaction between thousands of people.
Look at this lead pencil. There's not a single person in the world who could make this pencil. Remarkable statement? Not at all. The wood from which it's made, for all I know, comes from a tree that was cut down in the state of Washington. To cut down that tree, it took a saw. To make the saw, it took steel. To make the steel, it took iron ore.
But obviously, the pencil is no longer one of our most important tools of communication. This is, and the production of a smartphone is not less complex, to say the least. This display is made in Japan, and the camera in Vietnam. The microphones come from Austria and the chipset from France. The memory is produced in Korea and the battery in China. And the software and design centers are all over the world in countries like India, Finland, Britain, and the US. Thousands of people on several continents cooperated to make these phones so that we could have them. People from different countries, different cultures, people who had never even met.
That is why the operation of the free market is so essential, not only to promote productive efficiency, but even more, to foster harmony and peace among the peoples of the world.
We have a choice of smartphones, tomatoes, even trucks, because of competition. Sometimes the price is too high, sometimes the product doesn't work, and sometimes the service is lousy. But in that case, someone else can enter the market and take all the customers. So every company has to offer us something better to stay in business. Some succeed, but some fail. And it's that risk of failure that really scares us.
When a businessman faces trouble, a market threatens to disappear, or a new competitor arises, there are two things he can do. He can turn to the government for a tariff or a quota or some other restriction on competition, or he can adjust and adapt. In Hong Kong, the first option is closed. Hong Kong is too dependent on foreign trade so that the government has simply had to adopt a policy of complete non-interference. That's tough on some individuals, but it's extremely healthy for the society as a whole. Only the businessmen who can adapt, who are flexible and adjustable, survive, and they create good employment opportunities for the rest.
So this is the kind of boxes that you were producing here when Milton Friedman came by to visit?
Mr. Chung makes metal containers. Nobody's ordered him to. He does it because he's found that he can do better for himself that way than by making anything else. But if demand for metal containers went down, Mr. Chung would soon get that message.
And Mr. Jung is still here, and nowadays he produces more things for the tourist trade. But when only the flexible and adaptable survive, thank you, Mr. Jung, it means that other businesses fail. Economists call this constant renewal of the economy creative destruction. If we want to increase our wealth and opportunities, we have to stop doing old things in old ways and start doing innovative things in better ways. In other words, we have to be creative. But when consumers move on to new goods, it can be difficult and painful because old factories and old shops close and people lose their jobs. That is the destructive part. And yet, most economists think that creative destruction is necessary for economic development.